Yo, yo, yo. I haven't been fired yet. Welcome to another Cincinnati Soccer Talk watch along. We're here to watch the rematch of FC Cincinnati versus Chicago Fire FC. It is true. I am back in the host chair again for another watch along. I didn't burn the studio down. I'm very proud of this. Low bar, but sometimes it's baby steps, So joining me as the usual cast of characters, we have returning our main man here at Cincinnati Soccer Talk. We have Nick Suberling. How are you doing today, Nick?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, Clay?
I'm just thrilled that I'm still on the website. I thought I swore after last week. I was like, this is an invitation as a trap. He's setting me up in this to give a reason to kick me out. So thank you for including me.
Appreciate you doing it tonight. I'll only be able to watch for a half before I switch over to Best Soccer Show duties for the night. But I'll be tuning in and watching along with you for a half. It should be fun. What's happening, Tom? What's happening, Beth?
Look, even 45 minutes of Subs is worth more than 90 minutes for most. So we appreciate you having you.
That's very kind of you.
And now our editor-in-chief, we have Rob Pierce. How are you doing today, Rob?
Good evening. Doing well. How are you guys?
Fantastic. I've taken your advice. I've moved on to Oktoberfest beer this week. So I'm having a good time already. And then, you know him, you love him, Mr. at FCC Tack Talk himself, Coach Brad Goff.
So close. That's FC Cincy Tack Talk, Clay. Yes. But yes, happy to be here once again. Like I say every time, it gives me a chance to talk soccer, and that's my favorite thing to do.
Fantastic. Well, we already have a few people here in the chat. Please, as you watch along with us, leave a comment on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We'll see it all here on the lovely little streaming site that all our lovely supporters have been able to help us get. And so, yeah, we're just here having a good time. We're going to have a couple of drinks. Coach will probably skewer all of our drink selections, and we'll just have a good time, keep it loose, and watch with the game. Speaking of, I'm going to go to you, Coach. You're always our what do you think of our starting lineup? We have a couple changes today. So we'll have Haris Medunjanin coming in for Yakubo, and Greg Garza coming in for Andrew Gutman. Big changes. What do you think?
I would say, it's a couple things. I think that it sets FC Cincinnati up again to do the 5-3-2, 4-4-2 hybrid that we saw last match against Columbus. I think that's what it'll look like. I think they'll look like they're in a 4-4-2 going forward. And I think we'll see Greg Garza stay home a bit more than otherwise he might. I think this was bound to happen. You need some rotation when you have matches coming thick and fast like this. So I think all in all, the team still has a decent shot. The interesting thing is going to be is how can De Jong and Medunjanin function in the midfield together. The last time we saw that, it was pretty much a disaster. So we'll see how that goes.
And Nick, what do you think of that Garza for Gutman swap? How are you feeling?
I've made my feelings on this situation quite known on the podcast. I'm a big fan of Andrew Gutman's. Not to say that Greg Garza can't do a job tonight, but I understand why the need for change due to the fixture congestion. So
Gutman does run a lot.
And he does run a lot, and so it's probably also good to give Garza some minutes, some meaningful minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
He is a valued member of this team. Well, let's just hope that he's able to do a job, and we'll see what happens.
A little more subdued. I was hoping to get some hot takes from Soups to start the broadcast, but okay.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in action yet. Give me about 5 minutes into the match, and things might change.
Fair enough. And Rob, the other big talk on Twitter right now is Regaton stays in the lineup versus Yu Yakubo. Offense is really under the microscope tonight. They haven't scored in a lot of games. I'm not even keeping count of the minutes anymore.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the benching of Kubo for Medunjanin in the midfield, but in keeping Regaton on up top with Locadia?
It's squad rotation, so you're going to have some changes. What I thought was interesting is that Amaya is still in the lineup on 4 yellows. So if he gets a yellow today, then he misses against the Crew. So I thought that was kind of peculiar.
Yeah, I would have thought if anyone was rotated in the midfield, Frankie might have been that late game substitution. But Coach, last week we talked about with Kubo, De Jong, Regaton, Locadia, everyone on that field against Columbus, we thought, oh, what are we going to do off the bench? Well, today we actually have some options. What do you think about that?
What Coach doesn't know is that he's muted. I can't hear Coach. Did you guys hear Coach?
I didn't hear him at all.
Okay.
It's like
He's
I'm a
such a
rookie
freak
here.
amateur.
You know what? It never hurts to have an option like a guy like Kubo off the bench who can bring some energy, some pace, and who can find his own shot off the dribble. I guess the one thing I would say that I like about this is that we'll give Stam a chance to insert Kubo up top or in the midfield, depending on how the match is going. We haven't really gotten to see Kubo run up top with Locadia yet, so maybe we'll get to see that.
I'm personally really hoping that the Cruz bench on the bench is mostly fitness related. I love what he brings to the team, so I hope he's not being picked. He's not being picked for somebody. Someone else is getting picked over him, I should say. Yeah, but hopefully he can give us a little something off the bench tonight. He was a huge difference maker in the second half against DC United, and is usually just a incredible spark plug. So it looks like we're a few minutes away from match. Coach, what can you tell us a bit about the Chicago Fire? We've obviously, they're still fresh in our memories, still fresh for FC Cincinnati on the field. What is the key to getting some points today?
Well, Chicago does not like to build up and maintain possession in the final third. They're very much what we saw when we faced them the last time, a team that likes to kind of build in the middle third and then hit the long ball over the top, those long searching passes. You'll see those forwards challenge that back line again and continue to try to run behind. So two things are going to be key. One, obviously the back line dropping appropriately when it needs to so they don't get beat. And two, midfielders have to get pressure on the ball in that middle third of the field, because once you're 70 yards from goal, 60 yards from goal, those passes can drop in unaffected by the defense if you're not careful. So that's what really sunk the team, I think, against Chicago. The first match is in the first 10 minutes, just a total lack of pressure in that middle third of the field.
Absolutely. And Nick, who is going to be your player to watch tonight? Who do you think will be necessary in getting at least a good performance or a good result tonight?
All 11.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody that I'm going to point out here. Look, I just want a goal.
Yeah.
It's been since, mid-July?
It was Portland, and that was a penalty.
And that doesn't even count as a regular season game. So,
nope. And then
we're
New
looking
York
at the
Red Bulls, and
that
the
was an
last
own
one,
goal.
the second one was an own goal. The first one was just kind of a wonderful shot by Kubo.
Yeah. So, I don't care. Just score a goal. That's all. And even if they lose tonight, as long as they score a goal, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Because it's been way too long.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's incredibly important. I think Coach and a lot of people on our podcast have been talking about sort of the incrementalization of training and those baby steps they all have to take. I think I would agree with Nick there. Even a loss isn't what you want, but just seeing some improvement on the offense, seeing some more than a couple shots on target, a goal or two would definitely lift a lot of spirits. Rob, is there anyone in particular you're looking out for, or is same kind of vibe? You're just hoping for a full team effort?
I think I agree with Subs that it will take all 11, but for the spirit of the question,
the one that I avoided.
I appreciate you, Rob. Thank you. I wasn't going to call Subs out because he's the godfather, but
That's fine. I'm the one asking the questions usually. So
I will say Medunjanin.
Mm-hmm.
His first time back in the lineup since, well, that's not true. He subbed on the other day, but his first time starting since, leaving for his new parent duties. And I think if he can spray some balls, it might unlock some things in the offense, and then we'll get that goal that we're looking for.
I'm going to keep going with the train I rode in on. I'm going to keep going Joseph Claude Jow. I think he consistently has been the most dangerous guy going forward. I think I talked about in the last podcast, if he could get into those combo plays, those 1-2 touches with either Amaya or De Jong, whoever's playing on his side, maybe even Regatin or Locadia up top. If he can get in those passing combinations, I think he's going to be the one that can unlock a potential goal. So we'll see. I know he's often asked to sit back, but once he's sprung, he can really cause some issues, or at least get us in some free kicks. And Rob, with Harris back on the field, maybe we'll actually score one. All right. So I'm saying the stream has not yet started for me. How are we looking on the air, Rob Pierce?
Just started seconds ago. They got the overview of Nippert, and they're doing their fancy intro.
A pre-match intro. There you go.
Mhm.
Very nice.
I have the Fire feed tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, at least Subs can watch. There we go.
Yep.
No rant on next week's CST podcast.
No, I think what I'm going to try. Thank you, Todd. I think we're going to what I'm going to try this weekend. I honestly didn't think to check the Fox Sports Go app last weekend.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. I'll give that a try. I didn't even think about that. So Todd says TV just started. So
yeah,
must be coming up here soon.
Hopefully the app works for you this next weekend, Coach. Sorry, Nick. I was about to take it to Coach.
Who's
Usually
Nick?
before.
Who's this Nick guy you keep
I'm
talking
so
about?
sorry.
Oh, that's
Soups.
me. Okay.
I hope you get to watch on the app this weekend, Subs. For me, I know it's something we always usually end up talking about on these broadcasts, and since at least the stream has not yet started, what are we drinking? I'll get us started. I'm starting to feel in the Oktoberfest vibe. It's September, new month. I'm actually trying the Great Lakes Oktoberfest. I'm actually I don't drink a lot of Oktoberfest, so I would never call myself an expert, but it's nice. So, Coach, do you have a arm that you're consuming this evening?
I'm empty right now, but I'll get started. I did have the Sierra Nevada
away.
Oktoberfest. Exactly. I did have the Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest last night, and it was the best Oktoberfest I've had this year so far.
Really? From Sierra Nevada?
Yeah, I've only had maybe
All right.
3 or 4 others. I'm a big fan of the style this time of year, like you said. I know Rob is too, so I might grab another. I got a 6-pack variety pack of Oktoberfest that I put together off the shelf the other day. So
There you go. And Subs, I'm assuming water, or is it sparkling today, or
Kirkland water, baby.
sparkling water?
Kirkland. Purified water with minerals added for taste.
There we go. And Rob, are you got any more of that Oktoberfest, or are you doing something else tonight?
I actually have some Great Lakes Oktoberfest in my fridge right now, but today I'm going a little different. This is a collaboration from Moore Brewing Company in Villa Park and Listerman. And the name of this is Moore X Listerman from downtown. It is an NE milkshake IPA brewed with Eldorado, Citra, raspberries, cheesecake, and lactose.
That sounds
Milkshake IPA. Where have I heard that before, Coach?
That sounds like a very
Look
Listerman
at that.
brew.
Coach and I are beer brothers today. This is excellent.
I was trying to decide what I was going to have. Rob just made my decision easy.
There you go. I'm glad to get some validation for my beer drinking tonight from Offside Marketing. Thank you, sir. And Subs looks like you have a fan on YouTube. You really changed his life in regards to his Pop-Tart consumption.
What? I don't remember what I said.
Yeah,
Apparently, you changed his life. So
I got to hear the story behind this.
he never eaten a Pop-Tart the same way since.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
What did you do, Sue?
what I do is I open the top part of the wrapper
Uh-huh.
and then I slide it down like a candy bar about halfway, and then I eat it 2 at a time.
God. Oh, that's like people who eat Kit Kat like an actual bar and don't break it apart. That's horrible. It's not quite as bad, but
all right.
I don't know. I don't know if I can look at you the same way again.
Aren't Pop-Tarts toaster treats? You don't toast those
I don't put the
suckers?
Pop-Tarts in the toaster.
I was going to say,
I'm
I'm toasting my Pop-Tarts.
The last time I ate a Pop-Tart was out of a college vending machine, so there's no toaster around. So I just ate it as is.
I eat 2 packs of Pop-Tarts a day, one for breakfast and one at lunch.
Okay, then.
I work in the middle of nowhere, so there is no going to lunch. So I do what I can.
You would think with that kind of quality at lunch, you'd want to break those suckers apart to prolong the enjoyment.
Actually,
Yeah.
I do that. I like break them in halves and then in quarters, and then I eat them a quarter at a time because I'm OCD, and it's probably a problem. I'm still not seeing anything on the stream.
Yeah, I'm same here. I've got commercials, the same commercial I saw 5 seconds ago.
Coach, what are you looking at? Because you were having trouble with your TV today, weren't you?
Same as you. I got please wait. The stream has not started on FC Cincinnati's website. I was trying to see if I could get a TV hooked up down here in my basement office to watch live with Rob and Subs. No, Subs is streaming tonight too, right?
I am streaming.
But I was not able to, so I'm back online.
I will say Gershron, thank you again for joining us. I live like 5 minutes from Matry. I'm a big fan of their
Jeremy,
stuff.
what's up?
Shoal Drifter is an amazing beer to drink, especially on those warmer summer nights. Oh, we have our coach, our favorites back. Our favorite gooner, Scott Kaplan.
I didn't recognize him without his other avatar.
Yeah, he did. He changed it
2020.
to be a little, maybe a little less trying in these uncertain times.
Scott, you are by far my favorite gooner because you're the only
you
one I haven't met in person to see how inseparable you are.
I'm glad. Hey, at least he eats Pop-Tarts the right way. So well done, Scott.
And he has joined us for many of these watch-alongs. So we are grateful for the viewership, Scott.
Scott's a good dude.
He's on YouTube today. We thank you for switching around, giving us views and everywhere. And make sure you get that like and subscribe. Luckily, Todd is telling us we haven't missed anything.
All right.
So even with the stream down, we are doing all right. Hitting that refresh again just in case.
I like the positivity from Tyler here.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Tyler
I'd like to see
Mogus. Good old friend of mine from college, fraternity brother. Hey Tyler, how's it going? Yes, I think I would love it if Joe Zhao gets a Golden Knight. That would be fantastic. Hope you're right.
Matt. Hey, I can't wait till Thiago signs for Man United and you're all left in the lurch.
Yeah, because we all need more 29-year-old midfielders. Just ask Everton. I think Decore is only 27. I should back up.
I'm trying to think. Refresh my memory here, because I now see the we're on the field at least.
Mm-hmm.
No action yet. Has Zhao has he scored for us
in his history? I don't know.
I don't think so.
He might not have.
I don't think he has.
You got Locadia, Kubo, Amaya.
Well, he was here for half the season last year too.
Oh, right. Yeah, he was.
I don't think he did either. I mean, we didn't score a whole lot last year, so I feel like it's pretty easy to remember.
The coach, the Fires broadcast has us playing a 3-3-1-2-2.
That's what I would play if I were. No, I don't even know what that means.
Is that accurate?
MLS.com has FCC in a 4-4-2.
Yes, you would play.
All right, we're underway.
All right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have.
This is strange.
Not happy.
We got 9 seconds, 10 seconds.
Kickoff for me.
This is worse than before. I'm not even seeing the game.
Fun times.
This is great. So the host is completely in the dark, and so is our brilliant tactical mind. This is going splendidly. All right, Subs and Rob, this is all you. We'll just peace out now, I guess.
All right.
30 seconds right now.
All right, I'm only 10 seconds. I'm at 20 seconds. So I'm 10 seconds behind Rob. And you're over the air?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Truth or Dare, they are on. Subs is on the Chicago Fire's stream, and Rob is watching over the air.
This is ESPN Plus, so ESPN Plus is airing the
all right.
Fire.
Free kick here, Medunjanin. Close. So close. We got to head to it, and it was blocked.
So Joseph Claude Zhao did not score last season, but he was one of the red cards for that DC United game.
Remember the 9.
Remember the 9, baby.
Oh, yeah. That should have been. Oh, come on. That was a free header inside the 6. That should have been in.
Wait, hold on.
Well, they're starting on the front foot. That's for sure.
Can you imagine if FCC would have scored inside the first 2 minutes as was done to them by Chicago? It would have been great. I am trying to pull up the ESPN Plus feed right now.
I am as
see
well.
if I can.
You still don't have a game yet?
No.
Mm-mm.
The FCC website is still not playing it. Yeah, it's not good. Not what you want.
We are a minute 35 in.
I got 150 right now.
And yeah, apparently even the people who are watching are behind even us. So,
well, they're probably. I'm curious for those watching in the chat. Leave us a +1 if you're watching on the FCC stream.
It was Van der Werf that got a header to that free kick. He could have done a little better, but
he should have scored.
Yeah,
that's a free open header. He wasn't even defended. And coach keeps refreshing. What's going on there?
I am trying to get connected, and I am having to go through less than normal means to do so since it's blacked out in this area.
All right, I'm here. 228 is what I just hit.
245.
Oh, you have the game on now through the FCC stream?
Nope. I went on ESPN Plus through means I'm not gonna say on air.
Oh, you need to show me how you did that.
I don't. It can't be replicated, unfortunately.
That's some dark arts there, Mr. Host.
What are you talking about?
just a little bit. Again, cannot say, but I am here.
Can you put in the private chat what server you're using, Clay? Because I can't find one right now.
Yeah, give me a second.
What is?
All right, so they've each had just a bit of time on the ball. FC Cincinnati with some possession again here.
Yeah, so FCC, so Platypus, thank you. I love the AVI. Apparently, FCC has confirmed they know it's not going right now and are trying to fix it. So we are not the people. Yes, we are not the only ones. If you have a VPN, you do what you think is necessary.
Is that what you're doing, Clayton?
It's not illegal to watch it via VPN, just so everyone knows.
I plead the fifth, is what I will say.
Wow, that is a nice tackle by Garza.
Yeah.
Tom was right.
Ooh. That was Gutman-esque during that Red Bulls game.
Well, the good news is we've gone longer than the last game against the Fire without conceding. So baby steps.
Not bad.
Yeah, I wish you would have educated me on how you're doing this on Saturday night, Clay. So thanks a lot.
I didn't do this on Saturday night.
No, but I mean, like, I needed it Saturday night.
Well, again, if you look in our private chat, you will tell why it is not replicable by most people.
I wonder why Coach's camera keeps doing that. Oh.
Yeah.
Every time I grab a new server on the VPN and connect, it freezes up my whole computer while it's trying to figure out what it's doing, I think.
Our friend Darcy also wants to go on a mega subs rant today. Yep. I think a lot of FCC fans tonight are feeling your pain because I know a lot of people are not in the Star 64 region.
Yeah.
And so I remember we were all pretty excited when FC Cincinnati was going to announce that these streams are on their website. Now, I don't want to, obviously technology fails. We all know that. So hopefully they can get it up and running soon so the rest of you can join us tonight. In the meantime, we'll do our best at some color commentary, I guess, for the people watching who want to keep up. Looks like, is that Regaton? Yeah. Pretty hard foul on Regaton.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, not even a card, but definitely took him down.
Madun Union's going to line up over another free kick here, so we'll see what's going on here. Oh, that's a ground ball.
Darcy, my impression might border on parody, and I like Tommy G too much to do that to him. Let's see if Harris can whip this ball in.
He cannot.
Nice grounded pass.
Yeah. That's a ground ball to first base.
Bad low cross.
Yeah, but that was an intentional ground ball. The cross was
the cross from Sim was just right at the defender's feet. Not even.
It looked like Kakuta Mane. They're just kicking the ball into somebody's shins.
That was like a Christian Eriksen corner. Am I right, Coach?
Oh, here we go.
So often.
Couldn't get past the first defender.
I still go back to that free header. I mean, I don't know how you don't finish that.
Was it this game?
Yeah.
I wasn't there for the header.
Yeah, you missed it.
I missed the header.
Like at a minute and a half, something
was it Locadia, Regaton?
It was Vanderwerf.
Vanderwerf.
Oh.
A sitter. Inside the sit.
He missed a couple headers yesterday, last game against Columbus as well. All right.
Well, this is already more promising than the last game against the Fire. I'll just
the ball's getting pushed forward a lot more often.
You asked me before we started too about my feelings about Gutman versus Garza, and so far I'm okay. Garza's played well so far.
There was an opportunity just there where Locadia was out wide, Jao was cutting in. Those are the kind of passes that we need to complete if we're going to be dangerous in the final third. So I need those two to start working a little better together. As Coach was saying on his last podcast, those partnerships really need to start developing if we're going to get chances on goal.
Coach, you have the game on now?
No, I'm really, really unhappy.
Oh my goodness.
Coach deals with his anger a lot better than I do.
Laurel Failer tweeting the stream is down and club is aware and they are working on it.
All right.
All right. I'm live. I got it finally.
What time are you at?
7:40.
Oh.
Wow, you're only 3 seconds behind me.
I'm like right with you, Coach.
I just hit 8 minutes.
Yeah, Rob is about 20, 15 seconds
Wow.
ahead of us. Not too bad.
Okay.
All right, we are finally all here. It only took us about 8 minutes. Like I said, I apologize. I don't know why I'm apologizing. I feel sorry for anyone in the chat watching with us if they're still unable to get the game. But according to Laurel Fowler's reporting, the club is aware and they are working on the situation. So hopefully you all can join us here shortly. Harris,
Amaya,
oh, go ahead, Rob.
I was going to say, Amaya took a shot, took a feed from Regaton just outside the box.
Yep, I'm seeing it now.
No, not a goal. Not spoiling a
It
goal.
wasn't very good.
Not on the not on target, but hey, that is we didn't take enough shots the last couple games. So
You said shots?
we didn't
You mean shots.
Yes. I'm not talking tequila there, Subes. Calm down.
We should tell Boston to tweet out the link to our watch along so more people come watch us.
Yes.
SEC streams down.
Someone get that to him in Slack. Let him know. Oh, we'll need it. Yeah, we're I think Harris is picking out a lot of forward passing. We're in the opposition half a lot more than I've seen us against at least Chicago last week. And then my favorite thing as a Spurs fan, we're putting pressure on him. Sorry, you can't be a Spurs fan and not be somewhat self-deprecating. The plan with some long passes as well. The passing has been generally much better these last, the 3 minutes that I've seen. Tom Biebersdorf, we're possessing in their half, folks.
Jeez.
Absolutely incredible.
Okay, it's not a goal, so I'm not spoiling anything. Had a nice pass to Locadia. Had an empty net, and the Fire defender made a very nice clearance.
Oh,
That's just the way things are going right now.
Man, what a chance! But hey, amazing through ball to get Locadia into the 18-yard box. Coach, what did you think of the build up to that chance?
I mean, I've liked a lot what I've seen so far with the line splitting passes from Vanderwerf and there from Garza, obviously from Medunjanin. I imagine Greg Garza has a point to prove. You know, he wants to go out there and win his spot back. So I would look for him to take a lot of chances. Hopefully they come out on the good side.
That's the one good. That's a good thing about competition is that when you get those people who haven't been playing for a while, they have that extra pressure to compete. And some people like Garza, who's been a professional for a long time, I think will probably respond well.
Kendall.
Called advantage. You'll see if that gets a card.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Handball. Oh, God. I don't know if he saw it.
I saw it. That's what I was.
I know we saw it. I don't know if the ref saw it. We'll find out.
I love the slide tackle 60 yards from goal, 11 minutes in. Did he get a card?
That hasn't showed yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen one.
I'll be damned. Yeah, they're reviewing the handball now.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that didn't look good.
Oh, they're playing on.
Oh,
apparently the officiating crew was very relaxed upon entry tonight. They walked the field. They were cracking jokes about how narrow Nippert was, things like that. So much different than last match.
You also don't have Caleb Porter shouting in the fourth official's ear like you were against Columbus. I think it's also just I think FC Cincinnati wants some revenge, but it's definitely not as tense an atmosphere as you get in the Hellas Real Derby. Truth or Dare thinking VAR owes us. I definitely believe in VAR karma, and I think maybe we maybe are cashed our check there. but I didn't get to see a replay, at least on the ESPN Plus stream. So I didn't really get a good glimpse of it.
I am watching out of Chicago like Subs, and they felt like it probably should have been reviewed, but
Of course they do.
imagine that.
That's how it all works.
I'm not listening to their audio. I just have the footage up.
Fire corner incoming.
Yep. I'm seeing them casually stroll to the corner spot right now. Nearly is taking a long time. Already tired? 13 minutes in? We'll see. Tubes, how have the bold kits grown on you these last few games now that we've actually seen them?
This is the second time I've seen it.
Not any better?
No. It's still awful.
I agree. I don't like the blue ones. The white ones look sharp, but the blue ones.
There you go. Coach and I are sporting tonight.
Yeah.
They look super dark.
Yeah. That navy blue looks almost black on television.
Well, then when you get sweaty,
Mm-hmm. That's true.
it just really looks really more navy than, I don't know. I'm just not a fan. Ooh, that made me nervous. What? Wow. Are you kidding me? What a ball.
Oh, is that Sim?
Yeah.
What a change of field from Sim
What?
to Young.
Yeah,
Come
that was
on,
pretty neat.
Joe.
Oh,
That's a terrible pass.
just
I
not
will
enough.
say, Regaton right there made one of the runs that I drew out in my
Mhm.
article. So
Yeah, Joe just didn't put enough sauce on it, which is rare. He usually isn't. He's usually pretty good in those spots.
I think one underrated advantage that FC Cincinnati will have today, and it's not a huge advantage, but it's something, is this is their
Oh.
second match in a row playing on artificial surface, and it takes some time to get used to, right? So even if you're practicing on it and stuff, it's different in a game. So I think it's nice that they've had that extra bit of work, whereas Chicago hasn't.
Come on, go, Frankie.
Nice.
Oh, Frankie, excellent. That's the kind of stuff you expect from him.
Regaton with the overlap, I'm telling you, Regaton is reading our
Oh.
site, guys.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Locadia, dude. Come
first touch
on.
is really frustrating.
That was
Yeah,
a
he's
freaking
starting to
donkey
develop.
touch.
He's starting to develop a bit of a reputation of a bad first touch. Obviously, it's easy for us sitting at home to say stuff like that, but you pay 10.
Come on. He's a DP.
I was about to say you have a $10 million price tag on you. Yeah, Coach, we've talked a lot about, he's obviously moving to a new league. He's recovering from an injury. He had a lot of rust to shake off, but eventually, I think a striker of that caliber, of that price tag, would be able to land a first touch.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen anything out of his tape from the past that says that he doesn't have a good first touch. And that's the thing that I'm going back to. It's like eventually you play to your average. And on film, he has a fine first touch. We haven't seen it here in the United States yet, but hopefully it's just a lack of playing time and a bit of rust and a bit of nerves.
I'll say he didn't look like this in New York on March 1st. I was in Red Bull Arena, and I remember pretty vividly he really changed the game pretty quickly. And even against Portland, I feel like he already his movement. I mean, he didn't get a lot of touch on the ball, but it's definitely a troubling past few weeks for Locadia.
Yeah, hopefully he gets more than 25, 27 touches on the ball today, and he can start to work some of that out. I think that's probably part of the problem, is he's just never in rhythm. If you're a striker and you're thinking every chance you get might be the only one you get for the match, I think you probably play a little tighter.
But that is already his second chance in the box, getting the ball at his feet. So if we keep this up, he should, in theory, definitely get more comfortable as the game goes on. So
I was going to say, if we can't get a goal in this match, fellas.
It's starting to look that way, Rob. We've had two freaking great chances.
yeah,
Those two chances were better than anything we had against the Fire last week.
Better than well,
I
probably.
don't know. I didn't see the Crew game.
Let's say Coach was noting we had probably the better of the chances in the second half against the Crew, but we definitely didn't have a striker with the ball at his feet 1-on-1 against the keeper twice. So we'll see. But a lot better passing this game, a lot better movement in the final third. Soaring Eagle.
The ball was like in slow motion.
It's really tough on these broadcasts to tell how close those balls are.
Yeah. Especially me when I'm not watching on an HD TV.
And there's the goal view. Yeah, that's all right. That was pretty safe. Good dive just in case, but yeah. Teton knew. Oh, this playing out of the back still makes me nervous. I know they're getting better at it, but quickens my pulse. Platypus asked a really good question on YouTube, Coach. Maybe you can speak to this a little bit about forwards, strikers in particular, and confidence. If Locadia gets one of those goals in, do you think that's just the floodgates open?
Yeah, I mean, I do. But a lot of that is wishful thinking as well. Like, I'm hopeful that happens. It's not automatic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about Fernando Torres when he went to Chelsea, right? People said that about him forever. As soon as he gets one, it'll just go. And he would get one every now and again, and those floodgates stayed locked tight. So as long as they're not rusted shut, yes, my hope is that Locadia will get one, get a bit of confidence, and start to bang them in.
Yeah, I think confidence is important for pretty much any person on a soccer pitch, but I do think strikers and goalkeepers in particular thrive on rhythm and momentum.
Fernando Torres was solid at Liverpool, but that's not the part of his career I was talking about.
That's not the example you needed to use for your scenario. Absolutely. Was he on that 2005 winning Champions League squad, or is my history just off? I'm so young, so full of life. 2005 is like, Truth or Dare says no. Okay. I didn't think so, but I forgot his career timeline.
I like the 4-4-2 look going forward. It allows the one of either Garza or Deplan to push up and pinch into the midfield and create just one more opportunity to win the ball. If they get the headed clearances and things like that. So I do think that is the look that they're showing, and I think it's working so far.
You've been talking a lot about the tactical, what's the word? Tactical versatility in games. How important is it to be able to shift from offense to defense when you're in and out of the ball?
I mean, it's not important that if you do what you do and you do it well, then teams have trouble stopping you anyway. Like Liverpool, for instance, since we've been talking about them, have set pass patterns. You could almost, if you studied them in matches, you could call the plays before they happen. As you see the first two passes, you see what's developing, and they follow those patterns all the time. But they do them so well, teams know that and still can't stop it. However, when you're a team that's struggling a bit, having that versatility to float in and out of formations just keeps the opponents guessing, and it makes it more difficult for them to transition from offense to defense and from defense to offense because they're out of position, right? They're set up to defend you in a different way. So then when they win the ball and try to go forward, it kind of helps to eliminate some of their counterattack as well.
Subs, I think you're using your editorial powers to be...
I was just responding to our good friend Matt Imholt, who's talking some smack in here about Man U a few moments ago. So just reminding him. Of course, Rob was a fan of Liverpool after Torres was. He probably didn't even know Fernando Torres played for Liverpool. I'm kidding with you, Rob.
Well,
hey, better late to the party, right? At least you're there.
United can't
Chelsea
talk
fans
about
don't
much
know.
recently, so they have to go back to the glory years.
Hey, we won the Europa League a couple years ago
with my
and the
good
FA
friend
Cup.
Jose Mourinho, star of the new Amazon Prime video series All or Nothing Tottenham Hotspur.
Let's
Check
talk
it out.
about this match. Frankie the Bulldog. Nice, Frankie.
More than happy to talk
Down
smack
there.
about Manchester United Liverpool, but as soon as I bring up Mourinho, Yes, Frankie has been excellent winning the ball back in the midfield. And then DePlon just ran over a guy. My favorite thing is watching the soccer players react to like fouls getting called. Like, what did I do? Even though he just stepped over. He did like the Allen Iverson step over, and he's like, what are you talking about? Love it. People in the chat, let us know. Have you been able to get back on the FC Cincinnati website? How's the streaming going still? I'd love to get an update.
Boston ignored me.
Of course he did. He's on PTO, right?
He's too busy looking at stocks.
All right. Yes. So it looks like it is back. It is up for all of you. So I'm glad you finally joined us and watching the game. Yes, we agree. Star 64 is also awesome. Definitely support your local stations behind you, but getting to watch. All right.
Hi, Patty. How's it going?
So at least, hopefully we won't spoil too much, but as long as you're in the first half with Subs, I can't guarantee he won't scream when something happens.
I can guarantee he will scream when something happens.
At this rate, I won't be doing any screaming.
If something happens, I'll amend that statement.
There you go. So we're about halfway through the first half, Coach. How are you feeling about this squad so far?
I mean, missed chances is the key so far, right? But I'd still rather be FC Cincinnati with one really good chance missed and one potential chance that was squandered by a poor first touch, rather than Chicago, who hasn't created anything. They have one shot from distance that had Teton, flailing to see if it was going to clip that back post or not, but they missed. So other than that, I think FC Cincinnati's looked really good along the back line, even better in the midfield. That pressure, Frankie's on fire tonight. He's looked fantastic off the ball. I like Regaton's movement up top. I think it's good things. So far, I'm happy with everything other than the missed chances, but that's going to happen. Just got to finish some of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it should be 1-0 FC Cincinnati if you go back to Vanderbilt.
Should be 2-0.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's
it should definitely be one, and you could argue
header.
too.
I didn't get to see the potential header, so
it was a freaking wide open header inside the 6.
Oh,
I love Regaton being really active across that front line, though.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of movement. That's what FC Cincinnati's been missing lately. You got the forwards just floating in the box, waiting for a cross all the time.
Yeah, Matt, these watch-alongs are a lot of fun. I'm glad that we've got the folks willing to do it, and they are a lot of fun to do. I will give full credit to Brian Weigel. It was kind of his idea to get this thing going, and it's really taken off. So.
Yeah, Coach has brought it up a few times. Brian, when we first started these, the ability to watch these games together, even in these, unprecedented, in these uncertain times. But yeah, it's all about soccer is always better together, and anyone would say that. Even the players, the fans, everybody knows that it's about the community you're watching it with. So
I wasn't laughing at you, Clay. I was laughing at the play on the field, by the way.
I was hoping that I figured. So I'm glad that we're getting to do these as well. Thank you all so much for anyone who's watching along, for liking, for commenting, for subscribing. We appreciate this more than you ever know. So yeah, let's just keep the good times rolling, hopefully.
We can't be at Mex or Hangover Easy or any place like that, but we can do this. And so that's good.
Absolutely. Plus the drinking's a lot cheaper in my apartment, I will say.
Navarro really teeing up from distance. That's something that, FC Cincinnati is going to have to continue to watch, continue to put pressure on him as he steps forward into midfield there.
I mean, that was the thing that killed us against Chicago last week, was not stepping to those opponents quicker and letting them get those shots off. So I absolutely agree. It's definitely something to keep in mind.
In my estimation, a lot of that was down to midfield rotation. The midfield was not rotating well enough, and a big part of that was Caleb Stanko. Now, I don't know that Harris Medunjanin will be much quicker off the blocks to get pressure. So
I will say, though, Sim is looking a little more active than we thought particularly since that first Columbus game in Orlando. Sim is moving.
Yeah, very much so.
I loved. Yeah, that probably was just just some rust, and looks like he's finally shaking it off, which is good to see.
That cross does nothing there. I mean,
Yeah.
they're hitting it into Locatia's feet with 3 guys around him.
Yeah, we've said that a lot about Joe Zhao. For all his excellence, the one thing he has not shown an ability to do is have an end product. Crosses, key passes.
Sorry, coach.
No, it's okay. Crosses, key passes, shots. He's not really shown the ability to have an end product there yet.
If for any of those, anyone like Boston, Razzle Dazzle Brazzle, who's maybe betting on this tonight, the over under is 2.5. He recommends we take the under. Oh, forcing
Nice
a save.
Yeah.
He is. Sorry, Hills.
Oh, if Joe Zhao gets an assist or a goal, we're just gonna have to clear the runway for Michael
All right.
Lahoud.
That was definitely a shot on target. That was going in.
Yeah, was that Regaton?
Yeah, it was.
Regaton is definitely.
Hey, Alex Fear.
Oh,
Good
you
to
just
see you,
scared
my
the
man.
crap out of me, Rob.
Me too. I thought, what? FC Cincinnati's going to score in 30 seconds?
Rob, you are about a half a minute to 45 seconds ahead of us. You cannot get us that excited.
It's not that far ahead. Where are you at now? Where are you at in the game now? Play.
Me, 28-54.
I'm at 28-42.
I'm at 28-40. Okay, so
Yeah, he's
not.
not 3
But
minutes
still, if
ahead.
he screamed, then I'm like immediately wondering, what am I going to see?
Oh, I'm just happy to see my
Yes.
my good friend Alex Fear.
Thanks for watching along with us, Alex. Thanks for commenting. But yeah, no, if Joe Zhao gets anything, we're going to have to dedicate a whole CST podcast to Michael Lahoud on his Man Crush Monday.
What's the temperature in Arizona, Alex?
Alex was also scared by Rob's shout, so at least we're not the only one.
Oh, it's a dry 110.
It's 125 degrees, but it's a dry heat.
It's a dry heat.
Yeah, I could boil an egg on my sidewalk, but it's a dry heat.
I love Van der Werf's aggressiveness out of that back three, really stepping into the midfield and putting in tackles on the forwards, really not letting them get settled.
That was a nice one by DeYoung.
Nice tactical
We
foul.
haven't had any bookings, right?
Correct.
Haven't-
Okay. And Frankie, we cannot afford to get one tonight.
Right.
No. Yeah. 102 today, finally coming down. It's now what? Is it? Oh, I don't even know Arizona. Was it 5 or 6 o'clock now for you, Alex? Then
Yeah,
even
it's
then,
5 o'clock.
that's rough. All right,
I've
let's
seen the
see.
La Rosa's ad. Oh, makes me miss home.
The obligatory Subs the Cincy comment coming up soon.
We already got one earlier.
They would get another one in
You
there.
can always count on Todd to put one in there.
They'll hop in one of these days. Oh, yep. Tom Petersdorf said it all. TT. Not a very difficult.
Oh,
yeah,
Frankie,
I was thinking that myself. That wasn't.
But it is what you want. You definitely want your goalkeeper to get some, get his hand on the ball every now and then so he's not completely out of it.
For all of Teton's great qualities, if you see him catch a ball clean, then it was an easy save. He is a good shot stopper, but shot catcher, little less so.
I really like Regaton, by the way.
How much alcohol content is in that Listerman there, Coach? Because you're starting to feel a little looser.
8%, buddy.
There it
It
is.
is 8. It is 8.
We'll have to compare reviews at a halftime, Rob.
There we go. Got some content brewing for you guys. So stay to halftime because we got an amazing a live beer review of Coach Brad Goff. Exciting stuff.
So yeah, I'm really, I really like watching Regaton play. Just the energy he brings.
Yeah.
He's
bringing a lot of overlapping runs to whoever has the ball in the middle. He's just constantly finding that empty space.
He whiffed on a header just a second ago.
I think I'm about to see it.
Oh, gee.
As soon as that wasn't even close to on target.
No.
It was we can't talk about players we like anymore. We're just gonna have to keep that to ourselves.
Well, like I said, he's I like that the energy he brings. Right, he brings a different dynamic to this team when he's on the pitch. We saw it in the first Red Bulls game, right? In New York many months ago.
Oh, like 10 years ago?
Yeah, it feels like 10 years ago. But,
yeah, he brings a ton of energy. His movement today has been really, really good. He's really good on the ball. He can dribble. He's just one of those other guys we just have not seen an end product yet. But you got to think that he's going to come good. You can tell he's just way too talented not to. I really like what him and Locadia are doing up top today together. One of them is always dropping deep and helping to combine in the midfield while the other one in De Jong kind of presses forward. And it's keeping Chicago guessing along the back line of who they need to pick up and who they need to pass off to the midfielders.
Good ball to Joao.
It's really helpful. If he keeps finding those open spaces, he's going to get chances to shoot. And if you keep getting chances to shoot, that's what all soccer is right now. Just creating chances. Create as many chances as you can and hope that a couple of them go in.
I bet with all this possession in the final
is
third,
that pass to Kendall? Oh my goodness!
I bet with all this possession in the final third, Yuya Kubo's sitting on the bench, being like, "What? Come on, guys, put me in, coach. I'm ready."
I don't think. I'm not saying Kubo is necessarily capable of this, but I think you're absolutely right about the Regaton Locadia combo up top, coach. Their ability to kind of rotate who's dropping in, who's dropping out, and it's just causing a lot of trouble.
Did you see that pass from Watson a moment ago, right to the fire player? Bad. Oh my God!
It was very bad, Coach. We've heard you a couple times be very very defensive, or has been been in the corner of Mathieu Duplan. What do you think about his performance tonight?
I think he's been good. There was one time when I thought he might get exposed for speed that he was able to keep his head and keep the correct angle. Frankie's put him in a couple bad spots, playing him into the corner, and he's been able to get rid of the ball. So far, so good. I haven't seen anyone on the pitch that I've been upset with their performance yet. As a whole, obviously, if we've seen some shaky first touches, some better passes than not. The people standing out for me right now, I really like what De Jong's doing. He's getting on the ball a lot. His touches have been good. He's had some really nice passes. And then Van der Werf defensively, I think, has been excellent.
Yeah, this is Van der Werf's second straight pretty good performance.
Yeah, definitely proving why he needs to be in the starting lineup every week.
I love a little bit earlier when we saw the big Russian Sekulik, the right back for Chicago, run into Frankie and fall down, all five of them, and look at the ref with his hands raised like, what? Come on.
Who was just talking about the plan? That was a nice giveaway there.
We have a habit of setting up these guys to do. As soon as we're done talking about it, they have an errant pass or a misplaced header or a bad first touch. So maybe we shouldn't just compliment these guys anymore.
What are you guys pointing at?
Yeah, they luckily both thought it was out of bounds, but
luckily Watson's playing to the final playing to the whistle.
I think that.
Oh man, that was close.
They got a long throw in. Yeah. Ooh. Oh.
Oh my God! What the?
Oh. Luckily, they're just as bad at finishing as we are right now.
That wouldn't have been a finish. That would have been just a ricochet. I mean, he couldn't even get his feet set.
The Platypus wants to start talking a little bit more about Chicago. So, Coach, you are the tactical mind here. What are you seeing from them so far this half? They don't seem to be able to put a lot together.
Yeah, I think that what we're seeing that Baric needs to come back deeper and get involved in the play as a hold-up player a little bit more if they want to create going forward. FCC is really frustrating them, similar to what they did against Columbus by not letting them getting passes in zone 14. So Baric needs to get out and operate to the outside of those, in those half spaces, kind of what like in between the 6-yard box and the 18-yard box. Draw that channel there. Look for that as a target area.
Ooh, nice what zone 14 is?
Zone 14 is like the top of the box.
The top of the box. Thank you. For anyone out there like me who doesn't know the zones.
Yeah, I don't know any of the zones except 14. That's really the only one people reference. It's the area right above the center of the top of the box, and statistically proven that most goals by a vast majority come from that place, whether it's a pass from that place or a shot.
Back to Cincinnati for a brief second. The switches are on point tonight. I agree. We've seen a lot of long balls switching the field to Joe Zhao in particular. I think, again, the end product still isn't there, but the passing into the final third has been quite successful so far.
It looks like the Chicago Fire is falling into the trap that FC Cincinnati does often, where when they get the ball wide, there's a lot of standing still. You can see right now just people running straight forward, people sitting in space, but not a lot of movement or creativity in terms of checking in and checking out and crossing runs.
This is how we score for the first time in 400 minutes. I claim all credit.
I see what he's doing there.
I definitely appreciate you asking us to break down the other team, because we just as Cincinnati Soccer Talk is wont to do, we definitely can stay focused on the orange and blue. It's always important to break down how the other team is playing and how we might be able to crack open that opposition.
We've seen a few poor first touches in the very beginning of this match, but brand new soccer balls today, I'm told. So maybe they're a little sticky. Maybe they're a little, they just need to get broken in a bit before Locadia puts a couple on the back of the net.
What? You're joking, right?
Yes, I'm joking.
Okay.
What's the insistence behind Regaton playing as a striker? Well, I will say from what we reported on early when he was brought into the club, he's definitely a very versatile player. He's played right, he's played left, he's played as sort of like a 10 or as a second striker. He's kind of played everywhere. And at least, Coach, and you can correct me if I'm speaking out of turn here, but I think particularly in the style we're playing right now, with the width from the wing backs, you can't really, with that back three, you can't really play too wide naturally. But I think what we're seeing Regaton do is he's not really playing as a proper striker. He's kind of like Coach has noted before, he's drifting in and out. He's finding those overlaps with other players. He's finding empty space. He's checking into the midfield a lot. That's where that versatility, I think, really helps. If you had two just number 9,
come on!
I don't think you have that kind of you don't have that kind of play. Yeah. Subs, I agree.
I think that it's a matter of necessity. For Stam probably thinks Regaton needs to be on the field, whether it's his energy, whether it's how he trains. I'm not sure, but he cannot play in the midfield. He cannot play in the midfield because he doesn't play in 360 degrees. He doesn't see the field, what's behind him well. He sees what's in front of him. So he can't really play as a midfielder. So it's up top or nothing for Regaton right now.
Yeah, I question whether or not that was a foul myself, but Fire's they're growing into this match a little bit.
I think
they're seeing more of the ball.
Since he expelled too much of their energy early on, they're looking a little winded at the moment, just trying to get to halftime.
Yeah, that's where you see a lot of issues, right, Coach? Where that sort of you're watching your clock, you're looking for the half to blow the ref to blow the whistle on halftime. That's where you can get exposed. Luckily, Wasson is still on target.
Apparently, Stam was giving a little lip to the Chicago coach, whining for a card there. Stam decided to get involved and give him his thoughts on whether it was a foul or not.
Reporter complaining all through the Columbus game. I'm not surprised he's a little sick of it.
Oh, man.
Looks like an Andrew Gutman cross out there, huh?
Bailey could have caught that. Oh, I know people were commenting about this earlier. I guess I missed it in the shots, but that brigade plaid in the very far left of the Bailey is gorgeous. So whoever's talking about that earlier, absolutely good call out. That is an excellent banner. Oh, Waston.
That'll make me nervous.
Anytime he dribbles for extensive amounts of time, I just get a little quiver.
The interesting thing about that build off of the goal kicks is it doesn't look like they have a plan. It's not just bring the team forward and then hit it over the top. They're not really playing through the middle. It really is a couple passes and then a panicky swing at the ball and hope it goes to a teammate.
All right, here we go. We got some open space.
Wow.
I was going to say, I know they don't score in the next 14 seconds because Rob hasn't said anything. So
Zhao just put one outside of the stadium, I think.
Was it good for? Oh, it's even that was rough.
That might go on.
That was rough. Michael Lahoud, please don't watch that.
Well, hey, look, it was on his left foot. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Isn't he? I thought. Well, FIFA says he's naturally left-footed.
I don't think so.
I don't
That sure
think he
didn't
is
look like
either.
it.
But see, they also think Kendall Watson's a right-footed player. So
I thought he was.
No, Waston's definitely left-footed.
So FIFA for 21. Let's get these feet accuracies up. Come on, MLS matters to some of us.
Yeah, I wouldn't use FIFA as your.
That's why I believe in Musa
That's your
Sissoko for so long.
Clearly, he can't play. Have you seen his rating on FIFA?
That's what I say.
You know,
Guys,
FC Cincinnati has settled down the last few minutes after Chicago was getting the best of it for a bit. So I'm happy to see that.
We're back on the front foot again. Oh, just not a very dangerous cross. Rasta Funk asking the all-important question that we've faced the last couple weeks. Teams got scoring problems. What's the problem and the solution for you? I think we could probably go all around and give our take on that. Coach, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I wrote an article on it, Rasta Funk. I'd encourage you to, at halftime, pop over to CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com and search for Talking Tactics. I wrote an article about 3 solutions I think that could help. I think often they don't get out quick enough in transition. I think when they are in transition, their runs are not creative enough. Those are 2 of the options. I think today it's a lot of just poor final products, poor crosses, poor passes, little opportunities they're just not hitting on.
Are you
Regaton
kidding me?
Oh, is that a foul on Regaton? No, okay, good. Oh, Regaton. Oh no, Frankie. No. Oh.
Things like that. That's just individual error, right? That's what I'm saying. Today they've been doing a lot of good things because they're getting those opportunities. But that individual error, that final product has just been.
I will say a lot of the things that we've been asking for, and coaches, had explained so eloquently in his articles on CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com. We are finding better space. We are making better passes. Yeah, it's just maybe we haven't taken enough shots the last few weeks, and we're all real rusty. But yeah, the finishing has been the final shot, the final pass, the final cross from a lot of players today has been under par.
I'm not excusing De Jong for sailing that. He's too good to not be able to hit that. But Frankie really should have pulled the trigger on the initial ball.
Mm-hmm.
That looked painful.
Oh, yeah, thigh to the head. Yeah, I'm definitely a proponent of shoot it when you get the chance. Obviously, you don't want to be selfish. You don't want to pass up, give up a pass when there's someone with a better opportunity. But I think a lot of cases we just don't take the shots we can take.
And by pulling that ball back, Frankie put another 2 fire bodies in between the goal and the ball. And again, not excusing De Jong because that's got to be on target, even if it gets blocked. But that's why he's trying to go top shelf. There's so many bodies in between the goal and the ball.
Mm-hmm. So is there something going into the second half you want to see that Cincinnati hasn't done yet?
Score.
God, you are terrible as a guest. I'm just going to tell you.
They've had how many chances? They should be up at least 2-0 right now. Probably 3-0. I mean, come on.
Very true. Rob, is there something specific you want to see from FC Cincinnati going into the second half?
I'll give you one. Legit
Please.
one.
Please.
I'd like to see our defenders make better passes and quit turning the ball over.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to be pressed like we are and sitting as deep as we are, we can't afford to give up the ball like they did 3 or 4 times that half and really put them even more danger. So for me, I just want to clean up some of the really poor passes and poor decisions back in the back.
So I think I want to see Kubo in the second half.
For who?
Oh, yeah. If you put somebody on, you got to take somebody off.
That's usually how subs work.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get away with it.
Regaton?
No.
I think he's been probably one of our
he's
best
probably
players.
been the best player on the pitch.
Yeah.
Oh, hear me out, Locadia.
I disagree completely. I think that Locadia's hold-up play has been really good today. He's dropping deep, he's getting on the ball, and he's not giving it up. I think it's been underrated. In fact, I'm going to check on some stats here. I bet he's been very good in that regard.
I mean, maybe even Amaya. Like, I know what he's been. The yellows is an issue. He's played so much. Get him some rest before Sunday. Oh, I got our friend. We got our friend Head of Lettuce. I appreciate the support and the confirmation. Thank you, sir.
No, I think you keep Locadia in.
Mm-hmm.
They've shown the ability to create some chances here in this match.
Yeah.
Against not that great of a Fire defense. And that guy has no confidence at the moment. That guy just needs to see the ball hit the back of the net, whether it's a penalty or just scoring. He needs something to build on. So
Sure.
I'm keeping him on the field 90 minutes if I can, just because he needs to get some confidence up and get in form. And I mean, we saw that donkey touch there in the first half. That could have been another one of FC Cincinnati's goals had he taken a better touch. So
Yeah, I agree. That makes a good point.
you could tell he's not, and even on the one play where he chopped at the ball on that shot that was kind of behind him when he dribbled past the keeper and had it an open net. You know, he probably should have taken that shot before he even needed to dribble around the keeper.
Mm-hmm.
A striker fully confident in form and playing, with a lot of confidence, probably is taking that first time rather than trying to dribble around the keeper. Oh my God, man. You got to let it go. You won the league. What do you want from us? My goodness.
Definitely could use a few of those Bruno Fernandez's chances.
Jeez.
So we're at half. So I'm trying to think back to some of our players of the players to look forward to. I know for Zhao, I would say he's gotten those runs out out wide like we always expect from him now, but he definitely, for him to have the impact I think he can have, he's got to put in a better cross, got to put in a final pass that's easier for his teammates to do something with. And so that's something that I'm going to be looking forward to. Rob, did you say Regaton? Did you say Regaton is your key player for the game?
I said Medunjanin.
And what do you think he's been like out there so far?
I forgot he was on the field.
Yeah, I kind of have myself. I know that service into the box for that first free kick was good, but yeah, he's been a little quiet.
We'll say, I do think though that the passing's overall been better. I think that's one of the areas where Medunjanin is playing well, just may not be as flashy.
Yeah,
but Coach, remind me who you thought was the key to the match today.
I don't think you asked me.
I thought I would have. I thought I would have led with you. Usually I would lead with you, but that's fine. Who going into the second half do you think really has to step up for Cincinnati to get a result?
Oh, it's a good question. Before the match, I think that I would have said Joe Zhao. I think he just creates so much going forward. He just needs to get that last ball correct. And, I think in the second half, I think it's going to have to be Adrian Regaton. I think that he has gotten in behind the defense. I think, he's cut the ball back a couple times and been running towards frame. I think if he can just pick out that right pass, he could be the key to this goal finally happening.
Rasta Funk 148 is saying that SEC needs to be extra careful of Alvaro Madron. He's a very technical player. Coach, what do you think of that assessment?
I haven't seen him do anything yet today, but he is a very technical player. I wonder if that is something key that the FC Cincinnati midfield has been doing to particularly take him out of the match, or if he is just yet to kind of show up and get into it.
Well, there you go. Let us know in the comments for all our viewers what your 3-word first half reaction would be. What do you think of the performance from FC Cincinnati, or what do you think needs to change going into the second half?
I've got my 3 words, and then I'm signing off.
All right, Subes, hit us with it.
Please score goals.
I'm shocked that you stuck with that. Well, thank you so much for joining us for the first half.
Appreciate
Best
it.
Drink Alike tonight on the Best Soccer Show.
Yep, that's right.
There you go.
And
please tune in.
don't burn the house down.
I'll try not to. Have a good night, man.
See you, buddy.
I will say, Clay, this isn't 3 words, it's 4 because I had an article, but I used to tell my teams all the time when we talk about shooting and finishing, over is a crime. And the reason why is even if you put a ball wide on a shot, it has a chance to get redirected, deflected. It might go to a teammate. Over gives you no shot at anything. So shots like that, like when De Jong tried to pick out the top shelf and hit it over, like that's a crime. If he just tries to bury that as hard as he can, he has a better chance of it deflecting in than sailing that.
I will say, Tyler, bend them all. Is that bend as in score the goal, or bend them as in throw them in the trash, like they would say in England? Because I top bend or throw them in the bin. I need to know. I need some clarification. I was one of those study abroad kids in England, so when you say bin, it really just throws me off, Sorry, that's the only time I'll brag about living in London.
Say, wait, you've been to England? Next thing you're going to tell me you lived in New York.
Well, as it turns out, I'm just more interesting than most people. That's all. Gator Zone says defense wins championships. It is true. If we've learned anything from the Yopstom period, we are getting more results from conceding less goals. And I think, or conceding fewer goals. So I do think that is definitely a positive sign. This is an amazing reaction to what we saw against Chicago last week, Coach. We're definitely, do you think it's more of a product of us being better on the ball, better on offense? Or are we doing something different defensively that you've noticed?
I think it's that shifting to a 4-4-2. Even defensively, if the Fire doesn't have the ball for a long time, FCC stays in that 4-4-2. And what that does is it automatically gives you an extra body going forward right on the turnover. It gives you a little more width off the bat. It gives Joe Zhao a 10 or 15-yard head start getting forward. And I think that's led to more opportunities in transition. I do think that as we go forward, as Cincinnati has gone forward, that the running has been more creative up top. I think you see Locadia coming back to the ball a bit more, Regaton running across the top line. I think all of those things are good.
Absolutely. I'll definitely take 0-0 versus 2-0. So, but I definitely would agree with Subes. I think if I had a 3-word reaction would be finish your chances. We're definitely creating on offense. We're definitely getting in the right moments. We are in the right opportunities to put the pass into the right player. We just got to finish those chances.
Absolutely. Finishing is key.
Rob is now back with us. I'll take it to you as well. What is your 3-word match? Well, first half reaction, I should say.
First half match reaction. It's great to see them out on the front foot like this. I just, hope that they can finish some chances and bury one here before, 90 minutes is up.
Yeah, that definitely seems to be the theme of our reactions. I'm definitely back on our broadcast looking at the amazing posters and flags and banners that we've got from our fan groups. Show racism the red card. It's always an excellent sentiment.
Yeah.
I think I'm on ESPN Plus, so the ESPN Plus feed must be Chicago. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm getting their halftime reactions. I'm not listening, but they are now talking about the game here. For other 3-word first match reaction, much crisper passing. That's definitely been a huge plus going into this game. Not only the long balls, but the passing buildup in midfield from Regaton and Frankie and De Jong, I think has been much improved.
I just saw the highlight of the one that De Jong airmailed over the goal. Coach is exactly right. Amaya should have put a touch onto that.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta rip it. The champ on YouTube is saying that De Jong particularly has been impressive today. Coach, what have you seen from him?
I agree. He's been more active. I think that playing in that, he's a bit more deep lying in midfield. He's getting forward for sure when FC Cincinnati has good possession, but he's really in that 5-3-2 setup. It's really more of a flat 3 with him positioned to the left as opposed to a triangle 3 with him positioned as a 10. And I think that him being deep lying allows him to get on the ball with more space, which has allowed him to really spend some time spraying the ball around the pitch. We've seen a few good pickouts from him, big crossfield balls and things.
If this is true, Jeremy, notice this, right? I didn't see that particularly on my screen, but I'll take your word for it. If that's true, I love seeing that. I think players can call each other out better than sometimes coaches can. So if Regueton is getting in Frankie's ear about maybe taking chances, I think that can be nothing but good for his development. And Rob, I don't know if Coach, you saw this, but we're looking at the highlights now. That Van der Vaart header is definitely a pretty solid chance, and that's a bummer to see.
Mm-hmm.
I did not see it. I was looking. Alvaro Madron is signed for Chicago in January. Somebody had asked earlier if he was on loan.
So it was a permanent transfer?
Yes.
There you go.
Does Locadia practice soft touches? Good question.
Well, you are head coach Jaap Stam, are you not? So wouldn't you be able to tell us how his training regimen?
Yeah, we only let him play with beach balls. Maybe we should figure that out. Maybe we should, because we're worried about him getting hurt. So
we have a question from YouTube. Do you think Gutman would impact this game differently? I think Gutman could be an incredible sub late on the bench with his legs. I think against tired opposition, he could be incredibly impactful. But I've been really impressed with Garza. He's had a couple really long passes that have broken the lines that I'm really impressed with, and he had a couple good tackles out on the left hand side as well.
I agree completely, Clay. I think that Garza has not done anything that's made me think that he should be replaced. He's been good on the ball, and I've always said that he is better on the ball than Gutman in terms of his delivery and his actual on-ball ability. Gutman is definitely faster, and they both defend about the same. So I've always said, overall, Garza's a bit better player. He just can't stay healthy, and he's not as fast, so it shows more if he makes mistakes.
The one thing, too, is we're seeing, I think you brought this up, Coach, earlier in the show, earlier in the watch-along, is that we're clearly transitioning to that sort of 4-4-2 in offense. And with that setup, you just don't see Garza as up front as you do João. So we don't get to see Garza with as many opportunities to bring in some service. So I think that is one thing that we don't get to see is maybe something he's better at than Gutman, because usually Gutman was playing very wide when they were on offense just because of his pace.
Yeah, Garza and Duplan have both been pinching to the middle and operating in almost like a holding midfielder sort of role when FC Cincinnati has possession in the final third.
We're back out on the field now. Second half is just seconds away from starting.
All right. We shouldn't be far behind you now then, since we are safely watching from our VPNs. So Coach and I, we definitely talk a lot about subbing at halftime. Rob, if you were Coach Jaap Stam, would you make a halftime sub today? Would you wait and see if this team can break through for another couple minutes? What do you think?
I wouldn't do it now at halftime. I would give them another 15 minutes, see what happens.
What do you think, Coach? In this kind of situation where the team is clearly playing better and better than their opposition, but hasn't been able just to quite break it down, do you bring on another player, or do you give your 11 the confidence that you believe they can break through at least for the next 15, 20 minutes?
Unless a player is coming off telling me that he's not sure he can continue because of a knock, because of tired legs or something, I would not make a sub yet. I think you don't want to make sub defensively because they've been good so far. They haven't really given up chances. That includes the midfield for the most part. And up top, I don't know that I would take off Regueton or Locadia because both of them have looked fairly dangerous. And Locadia, I don't know that you can pull off just for the message that it sends.
No, I'm one of those people who harps time and time again that the stats are all there. The sooner and more often you sub, the better. But I do think this is one of those situations where the Cincinnati has had the better run of the game than Chicago. And yeah, I do think 10, 15 minutes to see if they can finally put something through can't hurt.
I think that we will see Kubo for either De Jong or Regaton in 15 to 20 minutes. I'd be pretty surprised if we didn't.
I could definitely see Cruz coming in for Amaya as well, seeing as he plays so much and he's still on that fourth yellow, which is going to be key for Columbus if we want him to play. So you definitely, I just found kickoff. I'm at 45, almost 45-30.
45-46.
All right. That says, yeah, the chemistry is there. Don't sub yet. I absolutely agree. Antonius says, give him another 10-15. One of the few times I think FC Cincinnati fans have overwhelmingly said, yeah, no, we don't need a sub yet.
I do think if anybody was going to go, it would have to be Harris. And I don't think that they want to pull Harrison off yet, Harris, because of his passing ability. But he is the only one who hasn't really stood out because of what he's being asked to do. He's being asked to sit deep and try to hit long balls. We haven't seen him get forward at all. And his long balls have been good for the most part, but nothing that's really unlocked the defense.
Absolutely. Oof. Oh, that's not what you see. That's not what you want to see out of Garza. But he looks fine. Okay.
That's not what you want to see out of Regaton a second ago.
I just saw Garza pull up on his ankle and grimace. And I was like, oh, but then he was pretty good, pretty close after. I still haven't seen it yet.
He botched a back heel.
Oh,
and then got it right back.
Oh, okay. So I completely missed it. That's fine. There you go, Jow. Beating your man. And that cross is still... It's not quite good enough.
Regaton with the Rabona.
Did he try to Rabona that into the box?
Yeah.
What? Who does he think he is? Eric Lamella?
He didn't try. He did it. It's a pretty good ball, too. I mean, Locadia made the near post run is the problem.
Honestly, wasn't actually terrible. I'm just surprised he tried to pull it off. He tried it. All right. I love the balls on it. Let's go. Let's go, Adrian. Did he actually do that? He did. That's an actual Rabona.
He's feeling it.
I just admire the boldness. That is absolutely incredible. Oh my God. I need him to score now. I need him to really flex on him. If you're going to do that. Oh man. There we go. There's that winning the second ball you talk a lot about, Coach. Didn't quite pull it off there.
Yeah, I don't like Locadia's choice to flick the ball on there. The way I say it as a coach is you only flick the ball on if you hear a teammate shout for it. Because other than that, you're not looking where the ball's going. You can't really direct it perfectly. You're really just trying to help it along its way. So if you hear a teammate call for it, go ahead and try it out. But other than that, you need to try to head it back to a teammate or settle the ball down yourself.
We're definitely talking that a second ago at Tar Heel 16, that maybe even bringing on Kubo in that somewhere spot might be just the right thing if De Jong is tired after those 60 minutes. The Plan sub, looks like he fell down pretty hard. We'll see. Deplan.
Maybe hit his head on
this turf, yeah.
Turf, yeah.
If anything were to happen there, I would think it'd probably be Pedersen in and Van der Vaart moves out, right?
Looks like he's okay.
Okay, good. That's always good to see.
They're kind of giving him they're kind of checking him out a little bit, but it looks like he's fine. The movement of his neck is what they're looking at, I think.
Let us, no offense, but no. All right. Is Cruz fit enough to come on? He did not feature against Columbus. So that is actually the key question. I think, he's fit enough to be, Coach?
No, that's okay. Our own Jeff Wallner reported that he's fit enough to play, but they're being careful with him coming off that knock, which is why he hasn't been starting or seeing the field. So I imagine he can play. Maybe today it's different than the last match, but he's probably more fit every day, which means, I'm sure he's good to go if they need him. And then it's just a matter of how careful they want to be.
Yeah, it's definitely not fit for a full 90, but if they definitely need him for a spot off the bench late in the half, I think I definitely could end up seeing him.
I also agree with Head of Lettuce. I said early on before Stam took the reins, I said under Stam, I thought Haglund could thrive because he's the kind of guy who, if you give one job, he'll do that job and do it well. You just can't ask Haglund to do a whole bunch of things or a little bit of everything. So if you put him on as a right-sided center back and you say, take this guy out of the play, and when you get the ball, try to look to Zhao, and if Zhao's not there, just hit it long. That's it.
I wonder how problematic it is that most of the center backs we have on the squad require playing in a back three to be effective.
And it's not problematic if you play in a back three, but it's problematic if you want to move to a 4-3-3 for sure.
Yeah, that's. I think that was sort of the assumption baked into my question. Yeah, maybe we'll bring on the ghost of Dijby onto the Dijby. Sorry, I haven't tried to pronounce that name in forever, so my apologies. But yeah, bring him on. Have him play as our number 9. Maybe they'll end up working. Who knows?
I think that aggressiveness of the center backs, we just saw it there from Waston again. I really like that. They're really not letting the strikers receive that ball and be able to turn with it or even lay it off. Everything. They're right in their heels of the striker all the time.
Yeah. I do like that sort of selective pressing, that as soon as they reach a certain part of the field, the center back closest to them really puts that pressure on them, giving them a little taste of their own medicine.
I'm surprised with how slow Regaton is. And he's not slow, but you see, outside backs outrun him often. He just looks a lot faster when he plays until you just see him in a straight foot race with someone.
I think his acceleration is quick. It just maybe his sustained pace isn't that fast.
Could be.
Like, he's really quick in short spurts, but when you're asking him to run to a ball against a defender, particularly a fullback, he might not be able to keep that pace going for long. Because speed and acceleration are definitely two different things.
Absolutely.
You see that with like James Harden in the NBA. Not a very fast player, but his acceleration in a dribble, the stop starts, that stuff is super quick. So they're definitely two different skills entirely.
Right, which is what makes him a good dribbler. Now, a guy like Joe Zhao that has elite acceleration and top-end speed, that's why he's just so dangerous. He just doesn't have that quick cut ability that Regaton has.
Thank you for joining us, evil twin Brian Weigel.
I'm not old enough to have a teenage son, Brian, but thank you. Thank you for that.
I do think there is definitely some merit to the idea that I am like a failed Weigel clone that has gone sentient.
Also, if Clay was my teenage son, he'd already be showing signs of balding. So, just saying.
I have pretty decent hair, so I definitely think it'd be it'd be the maternal link there. So that's not necessarily true, Coach.
I got a 5 head going on here. It's bigger than a 4 head. So
have you seen? I mean, my hairline isn't receding, but it started naturally very high. There is a lot of similarities, Brian. You've definitely hit the nail on the head. Coach, if there's anyone I have to be called their teenage son to, I'm glad it was you.
I feel the same, Clay. I would be happy to discipline you.
Locadia.
Oh no, I can't. I'm imagining this is another blunder based on this laugh.
No. Actually, it wasn't so much of a blunder. It's just. It was off the keeper's elbow.
Yeah, I mean, that was well taken. That's one like you'd like to see it hit the back of the net, but I don't think he could have done much different.
Yeah.
I mean, he was able to get it. Yeah, he's able to touch it, turn, and fire.
Was he offside? Yeah, it was off the keeper. I didn't see that in the initial run of play. I thought he just aimed. I thought he just went high. No, that was off the keeper.
He was only offside if the FCC player that was between him and the ball touched it. Gotcha. I believe, which I'm not sure if he did.
Oh, decent service in from Medunjanin again. Just couldn't. The header went straight up into the air.
But again, FC Cincinnati comes out, first 10, 15 minutes of the second half, looks to be dominating in terms of possession, creating chances, just unable to break the bank there.
Well, I'll say that's pretty par for the course, unfortunately, so far. But Locadia getting those kind of touches early, you hope that he can get 2 or 3 more of those before the game's over. What's going on? They're waiting. Okay. No, okay. I will say Garza's got that 5 o'clock shadow. He's working it. Looks like he's in a perfume ad or something.
I think the back line, I think all 4/5 of them have been really good today. There have been a few shaky moments building out of the back, but in all reality, when you have Kendall Waston as a key link in building out of the back, it's going to be a little shaky. It's just not a strong suit. He's done it okay.
Let's everyone pour a little out for our good friend Brian Weigel, who's going to have a very energetic child for the rest of the evening. We appreciate your service.
Follow those chocolate donuts with a 1/2 ounce of bourbon, Brian, and you'll be fine.
Just knock them right out.
Fine, 1/4 ounce. Fine. I'm not a bad parent here.
Just 1/4. Yeah, definitely not bad. Oh, even worse. He's dealing with a sugared up child alone tonight. Yeah, really pour one out for the homie, Brian Weigel. Just spike her apple juice with just a little bit of bourbon. She'll be out like a light. Matt asking, is the 1/4 ounce of bourbon for him or for the kids?
A quarter bottle of bourbon for him.
He'll need
1/4 ounce. The Fire have looked eerily similar to FC Cincinnati in games past in terms of just this, getting a little bit bailed out by the keeper, a little bit bailed out by bad luck, and a lot of just stray passes flying out of bounds.
I will say, you definitely don't want to look like FC Cincinnati in too many games.
That is correct.
Yes, Brian was supposed to host tonight, and then he obviously is single parenting alone with a sick child. So they called in the failed clone of Brian Weigel, Clay Winstead, and I'm here to hopefully guide us to the end of tonight's match. Hopefully it goes well. Looks like Columbus scored tonight. Can't be too shocked. They have been playing quite well this season.
That's something they couldn't do here, though.
We did play them in Nippert. You're right. Yeah, it's pretty good. We will play them, unfortunately, again this Sunday. I'm not a failed clone. I might not have the genetic mutation. Brian, don't you have a sick child to attend to tonight? We love you. You know that.
That's why he has her eating donuts, because he can do whatever he wants as long as that donut's still in the hand. Parenting 101.
Isn't that like when the kids go crazy in the car and you just hand them the iPad and then you just wash your hands of the whole affair?
Absolutely.
Brian, this is not your therapist. I need you to call a different number. This is not the time or place. We want you to get all the help you can get, but we're not qualified.
Those set pieces from Chicago, as they fail to create anything from open play more and more, those are making me nervous. They haven't been terrible on those set pieces, and it only takes the one. FC Cincinnati really needs to get off the bench in terms of the score line here, I think, and get one. As that goes 0-0, I just think you have to get more worried that Chicago is going to nip one.
Say flipping the perspective. Oh, go ahead, Rob.
I was going to ask Coach if he thinks now is the time to make an offensive sub.
We're about on 60.
I do think 60 minutes is a really good time to consider it. You're going to have to see who on the field Stom thinks is tired. Is it a De Jong? Is it a Regaton? Is it more like a Medunjanin? But I would imagine you'd make an offensive sub, offensive minded, because of how much you've been dominating the ball. Looks like Georgie is coming on for Chicago. And Kubo is lined up to come on for Cincy, so we'll see who he's coming on for.
Yeah, I'm interested if that's Regaton or Sim or Amaya. I will say, kind of in the flip side of how we were talking about the Columbus game last week, the longer we kept that game 0-0, the better chances we got. And I think Chicago's is playing that role tonight. The longer they can keep from Cincinnati from scoring, the more they're going to be able to grow into this game and potentially steal it. So I think we definitely need to get on the score sheet here.
Yeah, and it looks like, is it maybe Cruz coming on instead of Kubo?
I haven't seen
any signs of an FC Cincinnati sub yet.
I'm getting word from the field.
Okay.
ESPN Plus has shown the Chicago subs coming on right now, but in the shots they've shown, I didn't see anyone lined up on the FC Cincinnati sideline, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, same thing with Star 64.
Another decent placement on the corner, but good defending by Waston. Nice De Jong. He's been playing better and better on defense lately, but the Plan. Killing me. Yeah.
Kubo and Cruz coming on.
That's definitely two offensive-ish minded subs. I'm curious who's coming out.
Okay, Cruz for Regaton.
Okay. That's interesting. Stom is kind of low-key obsessed with playing Cruz that high up. It's kind of Koch-esque.
And Kubo for, is that De Jong? Yeah.
11. Now, Coach, if you were on the touchline, is Kubo playing up top or is Cruz playing up top?
I would have said, I think I would still say Cruz. And most of the time I would say Cruz. However, watching game film of the Columbus match, I do think Kubo looked really good in the midfield. I think there was a touch of their ability to him to get the ball deep in midfield and kind of run with it, which is what you're looking for out of Kubo. Also, if Zhao gets the ball forward, if Kubo can kind of trail that play and get on the ball in that way, that's also a really good way for him to get on the ball.
We'll see how it ends up lining up, or if there's sort of a rotation involved. But you definitely got two fresh legs, two guys Kubo, who has shown that he can definitely place a shot, and Cruz, who's shown he can get into the box and be dangerous.
You have to hope that with how well FC Cincinnati has been playing, that Cruz and Kubo are able to settle in really quickly is the only thing. Because if they take 5 or 10 minutes to settle in, it could be 5 or 10 minutes too long.
Yeah. Matt with a good point here. Our leading goal scorer from last season and our leading goal scorer from this season. If you need to bring on two subs to get a goal, those are probably the two people you'd like to bring on. Locadia just couldn't settle that ball.
Wow, that was interesting. Medunjanin just had a poke at goal from long range.
Okay. I'm curious to see how that turns out. Well, how they got there.
It didn't turn out, but it was an interesting thought.
It looked like more of a cross to Locadia than anything else.
You know what? Now that you say that, I think you're right.
I just hope Cruz doesn't slide tackle Kubo again. I think we can all agree we don't want to see that.
That may be why Stom brought them on together. It might be a partnership thing. He might have made them walk around at training holding hands and dine together, roommates on the road sort of thing.
Oh Lord.
definitely looks like Cruz is staying up top and Kubo's dropping in.
Interesting. That's such an interesting move from Stam, because that's almost exclusively where Cruz has played since Stam has come into the fold. I think that was that first game against Columbus where Cruz was in the midfield, but since then,
I mean, I guess the thing is, as a second striker, what you want out of Kubo is you want Kubo seeing the field, running with the ball, and Cruz plays really well in 360 degrees. So Cruz, as a second forward, has that ability to check back into the midfield and pick up the ball, play on the half turn, those sorts of things. He's probably a little better at that than Kubo is.
I don't think you're alone there, Jeremy. I think the longer we're scoreless, the more nervous everyone's getting.
Yeah, and Truth Adair is right. I definitely made that same emoji face.
That one right there.
Yep.
With the bald head, it definitely has a striking resemblance, I will say. Just needs little glasses there.
There's no ginger emojis and there's no emojis with glasses. There's the monocle one.
Yeah.
Oh, I think there is one. There's sunglasses.
You could do meme-emojis now, where you can make your face into the emoji.
Nobody's got time for that.
They're preloaded if you have them. If you already have your face ID set up. All right. Enough about technology.
I mean, the one thing you can say is I think offensively that about does it for FC Cincinnati. So if this crew out there can't create a goal, I mean, maybe Vasquez comes on late, but we haven't seen it recently, so it's hard to say.
I think I'm one of the. I don't. Please in the comments tell me if I'm the only one on this bus, but I've been definitely driving the Vasquez fan bus for a while. I loved what he did against Red Bulls, creating that goal for Alan Cruz. I think he can be an incredible hold-up player. Getting someone who's 6'3" into the box can be really helpful if we can actually complete a cross into the box. But Harris definitely seems capable, at least. If we're at 75, 80 minutes and Locadia just hasn't scored yet, or we haven't scored yet generally, yank him. Bring on Vasquez. Just give him a chance. I think, what have you got to lose at that point?
I think saying he'd be incredible hold up is probably overstating it a bit, but I do think he's useful. I also think he's very good on the ball. Like when he has the ball at his feet, creating that half yard of space to shoot, those sorts of things. He's definitely a big target in the box. The thing about Vasquez is we haven't really seen him enough to know how good of a goal scorer he is. Like, is he good in the air? We really don't know.
That's true. I am assuming a lot based on FIFA and his height. So, but hey, I said that about Musa Sissoko, and he's now a fan favorite for Tottenham Hotspur. So you just wait. You just wait. He's still very young. Antonius on YouTube thinks that getting in the press is very good. That he might get tired in those last few minutes. I will say Chicago, the more they get into this game, might actually can be, if taken advantage of, can be part of their downfall. If they get too excited and commit too many bodies forward, that might just be some of the space that Cincinnati needs to get another chance.
I mean, the interesting thing is Chicago's been on the back foot for so much of this match. Mm-hmm. It's hard to know if they really feel like they want to commit more bodies forward to try to get a goal or not.
I can't believe that wasn't a foul on Zhao on the right-hand side.
They've got a little bit of possession now, though. Let's see what they do with it. Hopefully not much.
And I guess the other thing is FC Cincinnati, FC Cincinnati hasn't proven they can score in any situation, but they really haven't proven that they can be effective on the break. The last time we've seen them have an actual break was Locadia's goal pre-pandemic. And it was off of a deflected back pass or something. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was a turnover. Oh, well. FC Cincinnati all jumped up to contest. I don't. Alex thinks that's coming back. There's a lot of angry emojis in the chat as well. Head of Lettuce says, wait. I didn't see exactly what the FC Cincinnati defenders were complaining about in the lead up.
Oh yeah, double handball there. That should be coming
Oh,
back for sure.
it is being checked. Handball, save us, please.
We've just seen VAR be so screwy with things like that you're almost certain, but it looked like it hit both of his hands to me.
You would think, but this is VAR in MLS. You never know.
I do commend Rob for his stoicism over there. Didn't even make a sound.
Yeah, I'm trying. It'd be interesting to see what comes out of this handball.
Tom Beversdorf, I think, spoiling it for us. I'm just going to spoil you all. Looks like we have avoided a incredible goal against the run of play. Yeah, that hits.
Okay, now I see it. They took it off.
I do think VDW gets rolled way too easy there. That said, that buildup is on Garza. Garza standing there with his hand in the air, lets his man run by him, and then doesn't change off onto the ball. And so the guy's coming in at Van der Werf with a full head of steam when he receives that pass. And that's a really tough ball to defend. It shouldn't have been so easy, and Van der Werf should have made a play, but I think really Garza is the lucky one that came back, in my opinion.
I think this is something we can all agree on for anyone who watches soccer across the world. VAR giveth and VAR taketh away.
That is no lie.
Oh, all right. Won the ball in the final third. Was Frankie going to do it? Deflected. All right.
I like Frankie's ability to create his own shot there, though. I mean, that's good again.
And now Fire players on the ground.
And I agree, Head of Lettuce, he actively saw the handball, but it doesn't matter. Like, we've seen that not get called so frequently. Like, raise your hand and continue to play. I would say as a coach, don't even raise your hand. The ref's not more likely to call it when you put your hand up. But if you want to raise your hand, fine, but continue to play.
You gotta play to the whistle. You gotta play to the whistle. And it doesn't matter. There's like Coach said, there's tons of opportunities where those plays aren't called. And were called wrongly. So you definitely can't assume that the ref's just going to side with it because you thought what you saw was a handball.
Rob, how you feeling about that beer, man?
On the description, it says cheesecake. And then I was drinking it, and my mind kind of forgot what the label said. And so I wasn't expecting cheesecake, but it's right there on the label. So it's definitely got that milkshake quality. What I really enjoyed the last year or so, whenever they come out, are the Sonder milkshake IPAs. Those are phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of got me into a little bit of a new style. So this one, it is what it says it is, but my mind wasn't ready for that when I started drinking.
I went to Sonder a couple weeks ago. Love what they make up there. First time I'd ever been.
I'm going to use that on my next review. It is what it says it is.
It's kind of a Walter Cronkite, and that's the way it was. It is what it said it is. Thank you and good night.
Tom, I will make sure I run the players through extensive set piece training this week.
I will say, for a team that doesn't create a lot of chances, you would think they would practice more set pieces.
For all we know that they do, I just something's not right there. Whether it's creativity, whether the players aren't staying focused, I'm not sure.
I want to take everyone back to January 2019. Ooh, and it's good. We re-signed. Well, we extended Alan Cruz to a DP contract. We brought in DP striker Yuya Kubo. And now, 8 months later, we see Alan Cruz as a second striker and Yuya Kubo in a midfield three. Just, 2020 continues to amaze. I'm honestly shocked. I mean, if you told me a year ago Alan Cruz was playing as a striker, I would have assumed Alan Koch came back as coach. I get it. Coach Brad, you gave some pretty good reasons why it makes some sense. It's just it seems like an ill fit. It seems like shoving a square peg into a round hole for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I don't think it's quite so much square peg and round hole, maybe just a round peg and a round hole that's not quite the same size, because he has a lot of qualities that make him good as a second forward. I mean, he's the kind of player that can play anywhere. Now, is it his best position? I mean, it's hard for me to say. I don't think so. I did get word that it looks like Andrew Gutman is coming on. I can only assume that'd be for Greg Garza.
It'd be weird if he wasn't.
Yeah.
It'd definitely be a 4-3-3 situation, you would think, right? And maybe be really high up if Garza was still on the pitch.
Yeah, that won't happen. I think it's just probably a fresh legs when you don't have a lot of subs that you trust to come on, making a change at left back for a guy who's older, injury prone, hasn't played a lot of matches recently is never a bad option.
It's Garza.
Yeah. Makes sense. We'll probably play less 4-4-2 on offense then, so you can get Gutman really high up. I think that's what you bring him on for. Send his pace against those tired legs.
Well, in a 4-4-2, the one outside back can always get forward. So if Deplan stays back, it should still be fine. Gutman should have a chance to get forward.
Jad really quiet this half. You are right.
Yeah, he is.
Not been as on the ball, not as active as we usually see him. Alex saying, "Yep, more pace. He likes it." I absolutely agree. Particularly in these, if you have someone who can run like Gutman, you love to bring him on this late because there's a lot of tired legs all across the field. Uh-oh. Nope, no penalty. Woo! Do you know the training coaching staff is the same going back to the
Jack Stern is still here.
So
Johan DeMay is still here.
So 50%. Well,
yeah.
I guess
Austin Berry, but he's obviously more strength and fitness.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him part of the technical staff.
Right.
Of the 3 assistant coaches, 2 of the 3, 66%. Uh-oh. Yeah, well, he may not have gotten the penalty call, but he definitely is dealing with something. And Wiki is not happy. Wiki? I forget.
He took an elbow from Waston, I think.
Yeah, it looks like he did.
Sounds like the coaches are getting into it again.
Yeah.
On the sideline. Well, I definitely think there was no foul there. I mean, that was a physical play, but if you look at, they both went for the header there. Waston doesn't really shove him in the back or anything. I'd be really surprised to see that given.
Well, we'll say, Matt, yes, I do think Locadia not scoring tonight is disappointing. Kubo has not been out for very long. I don't know if the young DP you're referring to is Cruz or the newly signed Alvaro Barreal, but
it's not Barreal because he's talking about people on the pitch. He's talking about Cruz. Cruz is no longer a young DP.
Well, I'll say Cruz also hasn't played a lot this season because of injury, so it is hard to blame him too much.
100% Cruz is a good signing. He's a fantastic player. The jury is still out on Locadia and De Jong. I also think Kubo's been a good signing. He's been very good, a little bit goal dry, but the whole team's been goal dry. I don't think it's been Kubo's fault.
Yeah, I'm definitely of the opinion that, for instance, just because a striker isn't scoring, that immediately assumes that, just because an offense isn't going well and a striker isn't scoring, they're usually more linked than that. You can say, well, the offense isn't scoring and this guy didn't score enough goals, so therefore he's the reason the offense is bad. It's usually more of a whole team situation, or at least a midfield and attack situation, than just one guy not scoring goals. So yes, I do think that Locadia has missed a couple decent chances tonight. You can't put the blame entirely on him.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like a wide receiver. If a wide receiver is not catching passes, certainly they own some of the blame. But if the quarterback's not throwing them the ball, you have to wonder, is it only that the wide receiver is not getting open, or is there something else going on there? So strikers missing chances, once they have the chance, they need to bury it. But how often are they getting in good positions? How often are they involved in the build-up? Some of that has to do with the midfield.
Well, on to keep that, that
Analogy.
to keep that metaphor going, that analogy, thank you, going a little bit longer. You can have the greatest quarterback in the world, but if he's playing in front of 5 terrible offensive linemen, he's not going to get a lot of chances to throw touchdowns. I think you saw that a lot with Cincinnati Bengals. I don't think Andy Dalton is a great quarterback by any means, but he probably would play a little bit. He probably would have played a little bit better if he wasn't getting pressured or sacked as much as he was last year. So that's sort of speaks to that ability that everyone on the field is involved in the attack. Everyone on the field is responsible for the defense. So it's easy to blame a striker. It's easy to blame a quarterback, but they're not always 100% at fault.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Matt, you definitely make a good point, though. He's definitely had a few chances tonight that you hope he lands. But, yeah, I want to say form and fitness just hasn't been there. This is his 4th game, right? Yeah, 4th game since Portland a couple months ago. And, he was injured for months and months and months before that. But eventually those excuses have to end, and you have to start asking, well, why haven't you kept finishing those chances? I think Matt was saying earlier in the chat, he definitely looks like he isn't running without it. He's running well tonight, that he doesn't look like he has a hitch or he doesn't look slow. So the fitness is definitely getting there, just whether or not his form can follow.
I wonder how much of that is a confidence issue. Like he keeps missing and missing and missing. And like we were talking about earlier, if he scores 1, everything's going to, the floodgates.
Absolutely. With goalkeepers and strikers, I think confidence is a huge part of their game. They have to believe, the strikers have to believe the ball is going to go into the back of the net. Goalkeepers, quite the opposite.
That is the hope. I really hope Locadia gets one more really good chance this game, because I think he's gotten a little better each chance that he's gotten, and I think it's coming.
He is getting closer, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. He seems to be getting closer each match.
Does anybody know what Truth Adair is talking about here in the chat?
Maybe the Chicago Fire defender? I don't know. The way he walked out at halftime for the second half of the last Fire match was really bad. Oh, maybe Locadia? The way he walked out of the half.
Oh, out at halftime, like with his head hanging.
Yeah, that might be it. His body language. Yeah.
Oh, the limp.
Yes. Okay. I'm referring. Yeah, I know what you're referring to now. Yeah, he definitely looks a lot better, at least physically. He doesn't look bad.
I'd be shocked if they would risk him for this many matches in a row if they felt that he wasn't totally fit.
At this rate, we still have the 5 subs, right? I'd bring on Vasquez. Just give him a run at it. I know you want Locadia to maybe get that one last chance, get his confidence up, but yeah, it hasn't worked so far. Just throw something else out there. See if you can't make some magic.
For that matter, you could argue with bringing Vasquez on for a Medunjanin or a Maya and dropping Cruz into midfield.
Oh, I like that.
Vasquez and Locadia up top together.
And then Locadia can play more as a second striker off Vasquez. I like that. This is why you're a coach and I'm sitting on my couch. Well, on my chair.
I mean, I'm here too, Clay.
But you have been paid to be a soccer coach. I have not.
If you pull a Maya, then you save him from getting the 5th yellow potentially.
Medunjanin's coming off. Looks like they just gave the scrub signal. Wonder if he's cramping or if he actually pulled something.
I can't tell. I didn't see how he went down. It could be. Looks like it could just be a cramp. But again, I didn't see how he pull up. He's getting back up though. One of those moments where you have to ask, is Stom angry or is Stom just being Stom? His face is naturally quite pointed.
Is there a difference there?
You wouldn't like Stom when he's angry.
So get into the last 5 minutes plus of this match. Rob, would you be happy with 1 point with the draw from this game, or did you expect more?
Oh, I would be disappointed, to be honest. The way that they started and the chances that they've had to not get 3 points, I'd be pretty disappointed. I mean,
Coach, what? Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I would begrudgingly take the point, but I kind of feel like it should be 3.
Stanko coming on. So looks like, Coach, we're just gonna settle for the point. What do you think about that strategy? What do you think about the getting 1 point if we're successful against Chicago Fire at home with the chances we've created?
Well, I would say 2 things. First of all, Stanko coming on doesn't necessarily mean that FCC is settling, because if he sits back as a 6 and allows Frankie and Kubo both have a bit more license to go forward, then putting in one defender to let other guys go forward could be, a offensive move. But I'm with Rob. I would be disappointed with this team. The number of goals they gave up last year and the number of losses, you can't be totally upset. Anytime they're getting any sort of points, any results, you're fine with it. But I really felt like this match was going to go better. They've created a lot of chances. This is going to be a hard one to swallow if they come out scoreless, or even worse, if Chicago gets one in the last 5 minutes plus.
And again, only assuming that this stays 0-0, but not all draws are written equally. There's always kind of a loser and a winner of a draw. I kind of thought. So, if Cincinnati pulls off a 0-0 draw, I do think we are kind of the losers in this scenario based on how we've played.
Right. Although I think you could easily, if you zoom out to 30,000 feet, you could make an argument that anybody who drops points to FC Cincinnati right now is the loser, because FC Cincinnati is pretty much considered by almost everyone to be one of the worst 5 teams in MLS.
To be fair, though, this season, don't Chicago have a worse record than we do?
Yeah, again, I'm just saying from a 30,000 foot view, looking at the large picture, not the microcosm. In the microcosm, I'm saying I'm disappointed. FCC has played better. They've looked better. They're ahead of Chicago on the table. I wanted points here, more than one. I wanted goals, like Subs, goals, right? But 30,000 feet, with what we went through as FC Cincinnati fans last year, anytime FC Cincinnati is not getting scored on, it is got to be a bit of a positive experience, right?
You'd think. We have a couple opposing thoughts here. Cinca_ant, Cincinnati, whatever. Yeah, but they have spent a lot of money, brought in a lot of players since last year. On the flip side, there's still a lot of returning players to this squad. -6 goal differential isn't good enough. And to lose 4-0 to Columbus and 3-0 to the Fire and respond with ties in the next game is much better. All happen to be true for this match. There isn't a clear-cut answer, I think, to how positive or negative this result has been so far.
I agree. And that's exactly what I'm getting at. I mean, the fact of the matter is, you have to take some positivity out of not getting scored on. Losing 4-0 to Columbus, 3-0 to the Fire, the number of goals the team leaked last year. And all the defenders on the field were on the team last year, right?
I'd say, obviously the first 2 matches of the season where we were already down to, -3 goal difference, but besides Columbus and the Chicago matches, we've only given up 1 goal. And that was a non-league game.
Well, we will have a boatload of stoppage time here, I assume, based on the injury. So
definitely,
there's probably going to be 7 more minutes left in this thing.
So I know we have 1 more sub and 1 more sub opportunity, if I'm correct.
If you were a good host, you would have kept track of that.
Or 2 more subs. I think we've only brought on
Gutman, Cruz, Kubo.
Yes. Well, no, Kubo and Cruz and
Stanko.
Stanko. Okay, so we have 1 more sub opportunity and 1 more. No, we've used all 3 sub opportunities. Never mind. So Stom has offside anyway. Stom is fine with the guys we have on the pitch. Yes. Jeremy. So they have. I was figuring that out. We have used all 3 sub windows, but we have only used 4 subs. So we'll see how stoppage time goes. But we have the soldiers we have, so we'll see how this goes.
8 minutes of stoppage time.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Wow, is that what you got from your on the field source?
It's coming to me from the field. Yep.
I have to say, whoever Coach is in contact with, it has been a boon for these watch-alongs, getting those insights into Caleb Porter over the weekend, getting these reports about the referees and the ball and stoppage time ahead of time. We are Cincinnati Soccer Talk. We have a global reach, guys.
Confirmed 8 minutes, so we're not done yet.
Oh man, we still got plenty of time. Coach, from a sideline, if you can get in the ear of any player, particularly now we've got an injury on the field, you get a chance to get into a player's ear. You got 8 minutes of stoppage time. You're tied 0-0. What are you telling your guys right now?
One guy and one guy only. I'm telling Joseph Claude Jow, get on the ball and go at them. You're going to create a foul or you're going to create an opportunity. When you get by them, because you will, pick your head up and just find Locadia or Cruz's feet, and they will put it in the back of the net. Trust your teammates. But every chance you get on the ball, just go at them. They're tired. If you're tired, they're more tired. Go get it done.
Yeah, Tom Breversdorf correct. It is a minimum of 8 minutes of stoppage. The fact that the first minute at least has been used to attend to a player on the field means we're probably looking at 99 to 100 minutes of play here.
Yeah, we haven't seen action in stoppage time yet.
No. So this definitely is going to be a bit. Rasta Funk, did Jow do something today? He was very active in the first half. Not good on his end product, as Coach brought up at the end of the half. A lot of misplaced crosses and poor passing at the end of his runs, but he was definitely very dangerous on the ball. He's been quite quiet in the second half, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's blown by the left back a couple times.
We can say this now that Subs is off and he won't get mad. We need Man United's luck with penalties. I think every team could use Man United's luck with penalties. To mention the stoppage and still haven't played. Yeah, we should definitely get at least 100 minutes of play now at this point.
But studies show that teams never get all that back, which is why teams continue to time waste even in stoppage time.
Yeah, at this point, if you're Chicago, are you happy with the 3 points? With the 1 point, do you want to just kill this game as much as possible?
I don't think so. I think Chicago is vastly underperforming what they expected from the season. I think they know, or they feel on paper, they should be better than FC Cincinnati. Last match, they beat FCC 3-0. So I think with Chicago, I think that you're thinking we got to get one late here and get out of here with 3 points.
Matt, I'm offended. You don't think I can? You don't think I can handle this on my own? See, that hurts me where I live, Matt. I mean, come on. You're gonna miss the Man United fan. I get that Subs has been here, but I'm trying my best. We're just taking the wind out of my sails. We love your support. Let's talk about making fun of them. Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. Cool. Great. In that case, yes. It's much more fun to troll somebody live on air. I definitely agree. I'm glad you're not talking about my performance.
That's your acting coming in there, Cliff.
A roller coaster. Yeah, I know. Acting is reacting, Rob. I'm just reacting to the comments as they come in. All right. Yeah, Chicago seems to be more on the ball right now.
I think Chicago thinks they can take all 3.
I think they can. And Coach is absolutely right. This is a team that thinks they're probably underperforming, and they know they beat us 3-0 last week. They know that they can score on us. So I think it's a lot about. I think they have the confidence to. Did they call it corner on Teton? Yeah, they did. He does not look up. He does not look happy.
I think some of that is gamesmanship. As a goalkeeper there, you want your team to get back, get in shape, get settled. They need to get this ball out and then get back into their defensive shape or get on the ball quickly. This moments after corner kicks.
Yep, this is where we're most exposed. Yeah, Wasson just blowing it away. Let's see if they can keep it up. Nice pressure, Zhao.
Locadia dropped way deep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no foul. Oh, great.
There's a card coming. I don't know who. I think Duplan.
I'm still a few seconds behind you. Yeah, that was the plan.
Did he even get any of the man there?
It's disappointing. First yellow card of the night. Very different from the Columbus Crew game this weekend. Yeah, I'd have to see the replay, but it doesn't look like a very good tackle from Duplan. How it happened so fast, I couldn't tell.
Good spot for the Fire.
Yep.
An excellent spot for a free kick. It's not what you want to see. There you go, Vanderwerf. Tell him where to go.
Not even watching the TV. I'm just watching Rob's face.
Oh. Poker face, Rob. Poker face.
I will do my best.
Yeah, they're taking all the time they can get in the buildup of this. Oh, Duplan is angry. Bustling up against every Chicago Fire member who gets in his way.
Looks like it's a corner. It went off of Waston's shoulder. Yep.
All right. Could have been worse.
Yeah.
But that's more time they can kill.
Or a head, maybe.
Yeah, I think he definitely blocked it. Just what he got on it.
Now, who's that yellow to?
I think it would have been there's another yellow
Yeah.
after Duplan's.
Yeah. After the corner.
Oh, it's on Cruz.
No, yeah, foul against Cruz.
Yeah.
Oh, against him? Oh,
Yeah, he slid in and got the ball real cleanly, and the Chicago Fire player came and claimed straight through.
Yeah, he's getting yellow crazy his last few minutes. He's ending the game like the Crew official started it. Oh yeah,
it was a 2-footed lunge there. I think for sure that was a yellow.
I'm actually kind of surprised. I felt like they just both went for it and they ran into each other. But I mean, I'm not going to complain about a yellow against Chicago, so I'll take it. I have to say, Matt, I know you're upset, and I'm sure we all are that the Crew won, but I think that more indicates how impressive FC Cincinnati's 0-0 draw was. Or the best team in the East. We didn't give up a single goal, so good for it.
If as FCC fans, we're going to be upset when Columbus wins. We're going to be upset a lot
this season, particularly. Yeah. I think they've proved in the MLS back tournament and have continued to show. Besides that one defeat to Minnesota?
Yeah, I think that the hope for FC Cincinnati fans vis-a-vis Columbus is that they get a touch of the LAFCs where they're a really great team, but they just can never finish when it matters.
Yeah. All right, there you go. Let's see how much more time this ref gives us. I'm at 98-37.
98-56.
And they're still playing?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure the whistle's coming soon then. Well, if only we had Qatari money, Matt, then maybe we could buy someone like Kylian Mbappe. But unfortunately, we are not owned by a sovereign wealth fund of a country like Qatar.
I'm thankful.
Yeah, we need less people like that owning clubs, in my opinion. Not that was a hot take.
especially with what's going on in America right now with society on fire. MLS owners need to step up and need to take some leadership, and having a Qatari crown prince probably not have a good look to it.
Yeah. So speaking to that, hopefully whoever ends up letting Delroy Hansen profit off Utah Soccer Holdings, hopefully you are a more model citizen than that horrible, horrible man.
All right. That's it. We're done.
Looks like we have ended this game. Yep, I saw it there with a 0-0 draw against the Chicago Fire at Nippert Stadium. Cincinnati definitely had the better run of chances, at least in the first half, but failed to put it away in the second. The Chicago Fire, I've listed their goalkeeper, who with 3 saves tonight as man of the match. That I don't know what Star 64 has a Cincinnati man of the match is to be. But go ahead while we talk about our reactions to the game. Leave us your 3-word match reactions. Rob Pierce, I'm going to go to you first, our editor-in-chief. How do you feel about this?
So you asked a few minutes ago, if they drew, how I would feel. And I still feel the same. I feel disappointed.
Yeah.
I feel like the 3 points was there for the taking and should have been taken. It's great. We got another clean sheet, a draw, a point. There's always some kind of solace in that, but man, this should have been a win.
Coach, do you echo that sentiment? This is a disappointment for you?
I always try to keep a perspective in these things. And there is disappointment there, especially with the chances FC Cincinnati had. But I still say, as an FC Cincinnati fan, any match that I don't go to bed just sick to my stomach thinking, can I watch more of that, is a good day for me. Last year was tough. It was tough to write articles. It was tough to watch match after match where FC Cincinnati was not just losing, but losing badly. We never knew when the next 7-2 was coming, right?
Yeah.
This is better than that. It's not always exciting, but I think that I would consider this maybe even another step forward. Against Columbus, they looked better playing through the thirds, but still didn't create a ton of chances. And this match, they created chances. If they continue to improve, then eventually they're going to win matches.
I agree. For me, obviously, I think I agree with Rob, generally speaking, in that the way the run of play ended up, we probably should have won that game. We had more chances, more quality chances. But if I take, as Coach likes to say, the 30,000 feet view of this match and of Jaap Stam's tenure, we're still really early into this, y'all. For me, after watching the last couple weeks, seeing an offense almost devoid of creativity, it's very different to look at a game and think, oh, we had the chances. Before, we didn't really have the chances. Against Columbus, there was a couple in that second half, but we were honestly gunning for that draw to start. We were just hoping we could keep them goalless and just hope we could ride that out. DC was kind of just an ugly game, and then Chicago, we were kind of out of it after the first 10 minutes. To have a game, to see an offense with ideas, to see Regaton finding open space, to see better passing through the middle, better long ball passing, you can tell the quality of play is getting better. I'm not going to disagree with anyone who says we should be putting some of these chances to bed. You're absolutely right. But I do see and I appreciate that improvement on offense. And I think it's only a matter of time before we're going to see that contribute to actual goals. So short term, I'm a little disappointed, but big picture, I'm happy with the improvement that I'm seeing.
Yeah, there's definitely been progress. They were just as good defensively, maybe even a little bit better defensively than they were against Columbus. And they created more chances. It's a small step. It's definitely a tiny, tiny step, but it's progress, and progress is always a good thing.
Well, we're going to try to leave it with that positive note. So I want to say, on behalf of your host, Clay Winstead, our editor-in-chief, Rob Pierce, and our tactical mastermind, Coach Brad Goff, thank you so much for joining us all tonight. We'll have another watch along on Sunday. These games are coming hot and fast. Thank you so much for everyone who's joined us, for leaving your comments, for keeping the conversation going. Just want to say, everyone have a good night, stay safe, and have a good one. Thank you.